welcome to Banter Such. I'm Brando.
And I'm Owen.
And today we are talking about Indiana Jones!
We are continuing with our fun little adventure series
Yeehaw!
on some of the best adventure movies ever made.
Yes.
Of course, we gotta talk about Indiana Jones.
The Big Daddy.
Pretty much the OG of like modern day adventure movies. And it's another bro episode. It's just Brando and I.
That's right, baby. Just me and you. All right, let's get into some BS.
So before we get into one of the most divisive adventure series of all time, we want to remind you guys about some Helios Network stuff.
Yes, check out our website, theheliosnetwork.com. We have all of our other shows from the network up, and we also have our store where we're selling merch. And I think we said this for several weeks now.
We're still trying to figure out why it won't work.
Yes, we will.
We will.
We absolutely
Yes.
will. But for now, you can check it out and just fall in love
There's
with
like a
stuff.
0 where a 1's supposed to be, or the other way.
There's just a
around.
setting in there I got to
Probably.
change. I got to like check a box.
Yeah.
And it's done. But it's theheliosnetwork.com, and we have cool stuff. We'd love for you to check out our merch for Wasted Truth, our pins, our stickers, shirts, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yes, and if you want to support the show and the Helios Network as a whole, we do have a Patreon where you get tons of bonus content from us, talk to us directly. The boys from 20 Sites sub to our Patreon.
Thank
which
you,
is
my
super,
guys.
Super cute. I appreciate
love
that.
those guys. We're
They're so
having
nice.
them on the show
100%
again.
we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get merch, discounts, whole 9 yards, vote on stuff. It is an awesome time on our Patreon.
So today we're talking about, so this is our adventure movie series.
Yes.
And this is part 2.
Yes, but before we get into that,
Oh, there's more stuff.
we got to bro it down a little bit.
Oh my gosh, it's a bro episode.
So before, I got so much hate this past week
Wait, you did?
for the Mummy episode.
Why?
Because, you never met her, but Susie, which is Lexi's friend that was on the Rob Zombie episode.
Oh, yeah. The one that I
Spooktober's
wasn't
ago.
on. Yeah.
She is like the world's biggest Brendan Fraser fan and was so pissed. I saw her this week and she was here for Lexi's birthday and she was so pissed that we didn't have her on. I was like, well, let's just do a Brendan Fraser episode. She's like, okay.
Heck yeah.
She's like, I'll come down to that. She goes, we'll probably just talk about Bedazzled.
Well, we had Nikki from Wasted Truth who was mad at us too.
Yes, and that was the other person that was legitimately screaming at me.
She's like, I'm a big Mummy fan. I was like, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I didn't know there were like huge fans out there like of that series.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. But it's just funny, like the amount of people that will like text me. He's like, well, why didn't you have us on? I was like, well, Brandon and I, we haven't done a bro episode in a while. So there's that. And two, I was like, I didn't think anybody was like that. Like, I know everybody loves the Mummy, but I didn't know if anyone was like that into the Mummy.
No, the fans are more hardcore than we realized, which is cool. I think it's deserving.
Oh, 100% it is.
And so it's interesting that we started with that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I keep trying to skip over our bro catch-up time. Bro catch-up. So what's been going on? Well, this is a new thing I thought to introduce. I was like, we should just like catch up, like just briefly what's going on our own, whenever we don't have a guest.
Yeah,
It's
so first off, my dog Dracula, he's been battling with heartworms for a while. We thought we were in the clear. We're just found out that he still has them, those goddamn worms.
I know.
So he's been dealing with that, which kind of sucks, but the doctors are very optimistic. At no point is it like life-threatening yet, so that's a good thing.
I love how I love the thought, like, the cliche of like a dog named Dracula, but it's really like a little like Chihuahua or something.
Oh gosh.
It's like, no, your dog looks like a dog named Dracula. Like,
and he will eat you.
he is a giant like piece of muscle.
Yeah, he is. Now he's fat because I can't work him out, but
and he's so protective of you.
Oh, it's insane.
Like, you got to be careful. Like no joke, if someone broke into your house, like, I think you'd be fine, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, like Dracula would take them out.
And you would show up knowing Kung Fu. And you and Dracula
So you're safe. Between me and Dracula,
we're good.
You are the safest person in the city.
Yeah, I'm probably safer than the president,
There you go.
Yeah, you guys are better than the Secret Service.
We're basically like a bulletproof limousine.
The Pope-mobile.
Your dog is the Pope-mobile. And my karate chops are like those Uzis they carry under their suit jackets.
The Mac 10s at the side of the hip.
Yes.
But other than that, like, dude, life's good. Job's fantastic. I got to DJ a few times this weekend, which was a whole lot of fun with Joko.
Yeah.
And dude, every single time I see Joko, it's always a blast.
He's a fun guy.
The next morning is always miserable. Brando and I were supposed to record this episode yesterday.
Yeah.
And I texted him, I was like, I'm in bed. It is like 5 p.m. And I'm like, Brando, there is no way I'm going to be able to record this episode.
Oh my God.
It was bad, man. But I still got to watch The Last of Us.
Oh my gosh.
Which is the most important thing in my life next to Dracula.
We just watched episode 3. We're going to do an episode on it.
100%.
Like when the season's over.
Yeah.
I got to get the full picture.
Yeah. But no, other than that, life's good. Been cooking again, which is nice.
Nice.
Not for you, but just for me.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you? What's bro?
Dude,
bro stuff.
Just been chilling.
Bro dog.
Bro.
Brober.
Brambro.
Brambro. What's been new with you?
Man, just hanging out with my wife, man. Like, we went out. I know. It's, you know what? I love being boring in that regard, though.
I'm sure
because we're chilling out, just having fun together. Man, our girls went out to their grandparents for the weekend, and like we were finally going to do Christmas. It's the end of January.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we were finally going to like meet up and like have dinner and exchange gifts and stuff. And so it was cool. Like me and Sarah were just hanging out at home, like just hanging out with each other all weekend. And so we go out there, and like her mom goes. It was just like this. I don't know. Like you probably understand if I say like kind of a bland suburban meal. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's not really seasoned.
Yeah, and it's like it's
kind of
fine,
basic,
and it's fine. And I don't want to insult it because, like, you know, she's inviting us into her home and stuff. But so Sarah and I were like, you know what? How about we cook you guys dinner? Like we're in their house, in their kitchen, and we went to the store real quick and we made like homemade Alfredo, like chicken Alfredo and fettuccine Alfredo. And we just took over their kitchen and made this homemade sauce and noodles and chicken, all this stuff.
Nice
and
bechamel.
Dude, it was awesome. Like, and we had a good time. And then while we were there, the girls were like, "Can we stay another night?" And like her parents were like, "Yeah, that's fine with us." And we're like, "Cool,
awesome.
man.
We get a night off."
Well, yeah, we got another night.
What'd you do on one of those nights off?
So, okay, don't tell anyone this. I don't want anyone to know this.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
it's just between you and me, Brando.
All right,
yeah,
all right. Don't tell it. So we went to like a Delta 9 store.
Yes.
So I found out that Delta 8 is a thing that they sell in Nashville. And like you can like smoke it or eat it or whatever, and it gives you a buzz.
It's legal weed, and I don't know
how it works.
Yeah.
Well, then apparently Delta 9, which is like the THC, which is like the illegal kind, but it's still legal.
Yes,
because it's super illegal in Tennessee, except it's not.
Who knows?
I don't know.
There are shops on Broadway, like people pull up with like a food truck, of weed mobiles,
and they're just selling like cannabis.
Yeah,
and I don't know how it works, but like, so we went to a shop. And like I bought some. Here's the thing. I want you to understand my experience. The last time I bought this stuff, I was in high school and we bought it from like a sketchy guy with a gun. You know what I mean? And the very next time I bought this, like I'm almost 40 years old and it's in like a nice boutique cafe.
Oh gosh,
And there's this like sweet little girl behind the counter like helping us out.
Kids these days will never understand the struggle we went through just to get an ounce of weed.
I was like, what is this experience? She's like, well, what kind of high do you want to feel? And I was like, I don't know. There are different kinds. So we got some, and it was like a lot too. Like I remember thinking like high school Brandon would freak out over what I just bought, you know, and I did. And so we went out to this. We found the most amazing sushi restaurant in all of Nashville.
Sushi Circle?
No, it's off. It's like Osaki or something. I can't remember the name. It's right on Elliston, right by the park there, Centennial Park.
Okay.
And it's right underneath a cigar store, like a smoke pipe store, because we went there and bought a pipe.
Nice. Okay.
And then we went down below and got sushi, and it was the most amazing sushi we'd ever had.
Were you high when you were eating the sushi?
No.
Okay.
We were out in public. We went home and did that, and we sat on our porch, and it was funny because it was just like, I keep going back to like high school Brandon. Like I'm just like, dude, like being 40, like, or at least almost 40 is so much better than being like a teenager. Cause I'm like, dude, I hung out with my wife and we smoked together and we talked on our porch and we gave each other orgasms and we ate delicious food. And you know what I mean? And that was our weekend. And it was just like,
my favorite part is I get a text. During this experience, I get a text from Brando. It's not even from Brando, it's from his wife, and it's on a group text between the three of us.
From Sarah.
At 10:07 p.m., well past their bedtime. So Brandon would text me earlier in the day. He's like, "Hey, what? Huh?" And I was like, "Dude, you're asking the wrong person. Text Lexi."
Oh yeah.
He's like, "I don't want to do that. Like the last time that happened, that went poorly." And I
was
like,
asking
okay.
for tips or whatever. Yeah,
So I get a picture of what. Like Brandon's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna get something super lightweight." I'm like, "Yo, man, like they say it's lightweight, it's not." So, anyways, we get I get a picture of what they bought, and it's actual bud, right? It looks like it's actual bud.
Yeah, the actual like flower,
and it says 15% THC, and I literally just respond, "Goodbye."
Is that a lot? That's not a lot.
For you guys, it is.
Yeah, well, for us, it was.
Yeah. You're not typical,
but we weren't like on a like bender or anything.
No,
we were just chilling out. Like,
I mean, even with me with this kind of stuff, like I smoke it occasionally to help me sleep at night, and that's really about it.
Ours was just the novelty of the experience. We're like, we did this 20 years ago. You know?
Sarah replies, "Da fuck." They said this was the most lightweight stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty potent.
No, what was the text she sent you later on?
How the fuck do I answer the poorly described movies? The answer is A Beautiful Mind. I was like, no one has had a problem with it, but that is the answer.
We were doing poorly described movies on the porch.
You were just going through them all?
Yeah. Did you get the text about where she was talking about Nosferatu and stuff? Like, she texted you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got to tell you this story. I'm sorry, this has gone on too long, but I got to tell you this story. We're on our porch. We've lived in our house for like 4.5 years. Okay. We're in East Nashville. It's a chill area. Yeah. It's cool. But like we're right across from Kroger.
What's the address of your house again?
Yeah, I know, right? And so I look over and like there's a car pulls up to the dumpster. This is midnight, right?
Okay.
Car pulls up to the dumpster. Guy gets out and goes over the dumpster. And we're like, what's he doing? Is he dropping something off? Then he gets back in the car and drives off. We're like, that was weird. Right. And then like there's movement in the dumpster. I was like, there's a person in the dumpster. And so we're like, this is weird. What the hell is going on? We've lived here for years and none of this has ever happened.
And that's not even the murder Kroger.
Exactly. And so Sarah's like, oh no, it's just a cat. And I was like, oh my God, we're laughing at each other. And so I like lean over off my porch and I whistle real loud to try to like get the cat's attention. And this dude just stands up and looks at me. I was like, that's not a cat.
Oh my God.
There's a person in there. It is a person. So we're geeking out at this point. We're laughing and we're like, what is going on? So then he gets out, he steals some propane tanks, he puts them in a shopping cart. When you pull the shopping cart off of Kroger's property,
the wheels lock.
The wheels lock.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't know this. And he just kept dragging this wheel locked cart full of stolen propane tanks down the street towards our house. We're standing on the porch. We're like, this is the first time we have smoked since we were like 17 years old. And like, why is this happening in front of our house right now? We're like, this is so weird.
Oh man.
And so we went inside and like we peeked out the blinds like fucking Scooby and Shaggy do. Yeah. And just giggled at this guy as he like dragged this cart by. And he looked at us too. Like we weren't hiding at all.
Was this guy carrying the Lost Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah, right. Oh, that's a nice segue. Yeah. The show's not about us.
Did he think that propane
I know.
was going to help him kill the Nazis? No, that's a great story. I love it. And I love the fact that you guys were high for this.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's true, but
It was weird. Yeah. It was weird. But we had a good time. Yeah. We hung out together.
Anyways, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, so Indiana Jones is like this is the perfect representation of adventure movie.
Yes.
Like it's adventure distilled into a movie.
And obviously all our longtime listeners could be like, I think they've done Indiana Jones. We kind of have.
We've talked about it.
In season 2, our first episode, which is always a favorite movies of all time or best movies of all time, we did talk about Indiana Jones and the Temple
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah. It was on my list for one of the best movies of all time.
Temple of the Raiders of
the Crusade. Yeah.
With the skulls that are crystal.
The sculling crusades. Yeah.
With the time of wheels.
Oh, we're going to talk about the time of wheels.
But so we're going to briefly talk about possibly one of the greatest adventure movies ever made, which is Raiders of the Lost Ark. But we're gonna broach a lot more into the other movies.
Well, it's just like it's if someone did a scientific experiment to try to like perfectly create the most perfect adventure movie of all time. Like you have this 1930s, you have this character in the leather jacket and the whip and the gun. Like Harrison Ford is amazing, and it is so perfectly written. Like every line is perfect, every action that happens, everything is. It's literally like Raiders of the Lost Ark is literally a college course on how to write.
Yes. You got George Lucas, you got Spielberg, and you got John Williams. I'm like, how can you make a bad movie with those three?
Yeah, I mean, you're getting all these character introductions that are like the most perfect way to introduce the characters.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, you get like that opening scene, which is one of the most iconic opening scenes of all time, where he's going through the temple, the big boulder coming down. I mean, it was like instantly iconic the first time it appeared on the screen.
Yeah, his look, like you said it, the fedora or the Stetson is how you wanted to put it in the episode that we talked about.
You remember that?
The whip, the leather jacket, the grizzle, right? Like he had that like nice, like, just a stubble, the 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh, yeah.
That nice square jaw. And it's Harrison Ford, who's just a beautiful human being.
I mean, he's one of the most attractive men like who ever lived.
Oh, 100%.
And he's like the embodiment of like rugged, handsome, like, and you imagine, and you can tell he's got like dad strength. You know what I mean? Like he's not buff like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know what I mean? But you can tell, like, how dads are just strong. Like when you're in your 40s or 50s or something, like you're just strong for some reason.
Are you trying to sell that to yourself right now?
This is what I tell my kids.
Yeah. I got a dad strength. The more kids I have, the stronger I get.
Dude, my 7-year-old daughter will punch me at full strength. And I play it off like it doesn't affect me at all.
It hurts.
And she's impressed every time. And I can only let her do like 3 at a time. And then I try to joke. I'm like, all right, my turn to punch you. But really, I can't take anymore. But she thinks she's like, wow, nothing hurts daddy. And I'm like, that's right.
Yeah,
nothing hurts daddy.
Yeah, that's right. But man, like this is where it's perfect. Like, I don't know if you could do an adventure movie like this set in like the modern day.
Yeah, well, it would be Tomb Raider. Right? Or Uncharted.
But even then, right? Like it's still all of it
different.
always has to go back to like something in ancient history.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like you couldn't do like something like this where it's about like modern civilization is what I'm saying.
No, you have to. There has to be an element of discovering something long lost.
Yeah, and as well, like it's just interesting because it's always something like grounded in like myth or folklore. Especially, I mean, like even in the first Indiana Jones, let's talk about one of the first big myths to ever exist.
Yeah.
It is the Lost Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, this is an actual like biblical artifact that like is actually in the Bible. Like it's a big part of the Old Testament, the story of Moses, and that's what he's chasing. Like how cool is that?
Yeah, so it has, what is it? It has the commandments,
the 10 commandments
and the Shroud of Joseph.
Yeah, something
like that. Yeah, it was supposed to be in that as well. But dude, it's like, and it's based in some history, right? We're not just talking on biblical views. We're talking like, it's true that the Nazis were big occultists and were trying to find this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know what?
Because they believed that it would give them power and it would help them win the war.
So like, I actually have that in my notes to like mention that the whole Nazis going after occult stuff, that is real.
100% real.
That's real history.
Yeah.
Like the whole Aryan thing, like, because now we know it as like this racist kind of thing, but they got it from this idea of like the whole like master race. Like
the master and debaters.
Yeah. But they tied it to like Atlantis and like all kinds of ancient occult. They had all these weird ideas, man.
Dude, and it's crazy. Like I believe it's estimated that like Hitler spent like millions of dollars in the search for the Spear of Destiny, which is the spear that pierced Jesus' side.
Yes. Yeah. Because, according to legend, there's power to it.
Yes.
It's got the blood of Christ on it.
Which is, we go back to that in The Last Crusade.
It's wild to me that is a real thing. Like you take as insane as the Nazis were, they were a nation, like an actual serious national government. And they had sending people down to Antarctica. That was a big part of why they were in Northern Africa.
Yep.
And part of World War II took place in Northern Africa because they were actually seeking out these ancient artifacts because they were like seeking some sort of power.
And it wasn't even just Christian artifacts.
No.
Like they were trying to find like Buddhist, Islamic, like Southern American culture. Like they were trying to go everywhere to find any object that was considered a powerful thing in its religion's customs.
Yeah. I just think like, and that's in the Indiana Jones movies because it's like the Nazis want the Ark because it will give them power and they will use it like militarily as part of their invasion of the planet. And they'll use that power for evil. And it's like, that is real. Yeah. There were real meetings at a real boardroom, like in a conference room with serious people, like actual leaders, government leaders, and who had a meeting about stuff like this. That blows my mind. Like, what did they know? What did they know that we don't know?
That George Clooney movie, Men Who Stare at Goats?
Yeah. Oh, based on the CIA.
Yeah. This was not just a thing. Like, everybody was thinking that mental warfare was going to be the next step in warfare.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, how do we do this, right? So it's like, we need to figure out ways to make people explode with their minds. Or like, hey, what if we have this religious artifact that is literally supposed to be like the throne of God on Earth?
And use its power.
And use its power to destroy our enemies.
Yeah, I mean...
and hear the lamentation of the women.
Or study it and learn from it. And that was the thing, like, because the U.S. government was doing stuff like you said, the Men Who Stare at Ghosts. Like, the whole, like, can I project my consciousness and see things far away? Can I, read people's minds? Like, all this psychic stuff.
This was and probably still is in some levels, government funded.
Yeah.
The governments of the world are spending billions of dollars probably every single year to figure this out.
An actual percentage of your paycheck is going towards psychic research.
To people taking LSD. Sure.
I mean, that part of the real life lore and that part of the Indiana Jones like adventure, that is so interesting to me. Yeah. Like, I'm like, that's so neat. And the fact that like there is some sort of mysterious power that we don't understand, and
that's what it always is. Like, there's one of the memes that I posted for the Mummy movie where it's like the Magi was talking about like, oh yeah, no mortal weapon can kill the mummy, and then then it cuts to Frank from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but it has Brendan Fraser's face. And he's like, so anyways, I started blasting with my shotgun.
That was at that era, and I think that's why Indiana Jones takes place in like the 30s, is because that like kind of turn of the century, early 1900s, that was an era where like industrialization was kicking up. So people were like, technology was like the new power.
We could finally find ways to explore the earth in a safe and faster route.
Yeah, and control things.
Because it was like we finally could go up into the sky, right? With like the Zeppelins and airplanes. Yeah. It wasn't just always boats, which is not really the most reliable or safest form of transportation.
Yeah, because I mean, a mortal weapon for thousands of years would be a sword.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's machine guns and bazookas. And now we're exploring this ancient, mysterious power, but we got fucking grenades, So it's like, that it's such an interesting time. Like makes for cool stories.
And I mean, like, it's so over the top.
Oh yeah.
Like, no one could swing with a whip like what Indiana Jones would do. A whip does not do that.
Like straight up Spider-Man. Like,
but it's like, it just takes the what is believable and just pushes it right past the border, right? Where you're this isn't possible. But it almost is, and it gets you to where you think like, hey, like if I was really good with a whip, I probably could do that. Like 0.01% of whip users know how to do that, and like if I train hard enough, I could do this.
Yeah, it's silly, but it's fun.
Yeah,
and that's what I love about Indiana Jones is that, and you see that right on too, like because I talk about the character introductions, how like he's got this iconic introduction as like this adventurer, this rugged, handsome adventurer, but then immediately you see that he's being chased by the people, and he's almost getting killed, and like you see right away, he is not a superhero.
No, not at all.
What's fun about superheroes is that they are super. They're better than people. Whereas Indiana Jones, he is a regular guy. He barely gets away with things by the skin of his teeth, and that's part of the fun,
Dude, and you brought up something interesting, and it's going to transition us into Temple of Doom, but like you talked about like the fun fantasy element of the first one. And that's where Temple of Doom, a lot of people hate on Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as bad as everybody says it is.
I don't either.
But I understand why, to even Spielberg, it's his least favorite of the four.
I get that.
Because it lost the fun fantasy aspect of what made the first movie so good.
Temple of Doom is the darkest of the movies.
It is dark.
Child slavery.
Dark. People with their hearts getting ripped out.
Like torture.
Yeah.
And
it loses all sense of what kind of makes it really becomes a adventure horror movie.
Yes.
Instead of like the adventure fun movie that we've grown accustomed to liking.
And it's still an adventure movie, but it definitely I don't think it gets off track, pun intended, because they got that whole chase scene
on the tracks,
yeah, but it definitely veers into the little too dark, a little too heavy, not quite as fun. But I don't think it loses it though. That's the thing, is like it's my least favorite, but it's stuck between two of the literal best movies ever made.
Yeah.
Like if it were on its own, it would be an amazing movie.
And there are some things that are problematic with the movie these days. Like the scene when they're in the palace and they're doing the food scene where they're trying to eat is a little like, even like I'm like, some of this is a little cringe.
So
I get some of these dishes are real.
Yeah,
but the way they're presenting it is a little off-putting.
There are
off-putting.
There we go.
Off-putting.
Off-putting.
Pudding.
Yeah, no. Well, it's funny because I thought of that too, and so Sarah has gone to China and India a few times for her job, and she's traveled a lot for her job, and so she's come home with stories like that where it's like, I was in China. And she's the American business person who gets taken out by like...
She's Willie.
Yeah. And they wine and dine her and all that stuff to try to, impress her and get the American business. Well, she's been in so many scenarios where like, she's like, I ate this like super gross stuff, but it's like normal in a different culture. Yeah. Like there's like congealed blood cubes,
yep.
Or like literal like eyeballs and stuff like that. And I'm like, that is super gross. But like, I thought that was kind of charming because it's like, Americans with this American sensibility, and like we're so used to our American food, but then the movie took it to a farther extreme though. It's like it's not just gross food, it's like ridiculous.
It's a little over the top.
Oh, it's way over the top.
Even the problematic with Willie's character.
Yes.
There
we go.
Excuse me.
You're allergic.
She's just the only thing she does in the entire movie is scream.
Yes.
And that's kind of annoying. And it's like we've talked
both
you and I that we love like strong female characters. Like Marion in the first one.
Amazing.
And even in the fourth one when she comes back.
Yeah.
Great character, right? Yeah. This one it kind of felt like it was just
well, even in Last Crusade, the Dr. Elsa,
yeah,
she's got a character arc. She's got a story.
And she is a badass in the movie.
Yeah, but Willie in this movie is just awful. Like she's a annoying damsel in distress, just constantly.
Yeah,
and a sexual person.
But like even Spielberg has said that. I mean, he didn't like it. It was too dark, but he's glad he made it because he ended up marrying Willie, the actress.
Yeah, and that was the speculation that she got the part because of her relationship with Spielberg.
I thought they met during filming.
Well, I mean, there might have been, something.
Gotcha. Okay.
Coinciding. You know what I mean?
Because she was like a nobody before that.
Yeah, and I don't know what she's gone on to. I think she's done a couple of things. Yeah. But you know who I love? And that is Short Round. Oh, I love Short Round. And he was Data in The Goonies.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so those are the only two things I know him from. He might have been in other stuff, but I know like he disappeared for the longest time.
He was in Encino Man with Brendan Fraser.
That's right. So he was a little bit older. He was like a teenager in that one.
Yeah.
But apparently he had been gone out of movies for a long time until last year with Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, that's right. He is in that.
He's the husband.
Yeah, that's right.
Short Round is Michelle Yeoh's husband in that movie. And he's amazing in it.
He's great. Yeah. Apparently he kept doing movies in China, I want to say. I can't remember if he's Chinese or Japanese.
Yeah, but, okay. So he was doing like foreign films.
Films, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
But dude, but rewatching Temple of Doom, I did enjoy it. Like I think this movie is the only one that really drags out of the original trilogy.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's just, I'm like, you could have, like, the first one, like, Raiders of the Lost Ark, I keep on wanting to say Temple, Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade, I don't think there's a single scene you can cut.
No, utterly perfect. Every moment
is perfect in both of them. Temple of Doom, though, definitely felt a little long.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. It was long.
Yeah, they didn't need, really the scene that I would really cut out would be the part where Indy is taken over by the dark light.
Yeah, that was kind of unnecessary. Yeah,
I didn't feel like that really did anything for the plot line.
Yeah,
I mean, it established that it had power, right? That it was real, but even then, I'm like, we already knew it was.
Yeah,
we've seen
dark
a person get their heart yanked out
and survive,
live through it to then get incarcerated or incinerated, not incarcerated, incinerated.
Well, he was incarcerated.
He was incarcerated too. Yeah.
Dude, well, I do have to say this though, Mola Ram, the villain, is a great villain.
Yes,
like he is amazing. In fact, I think he might be the best Indiana Jones villain. And the other movies are clearly better, but him as a villain, like you hate that guy. You're just like, he is like sacrificing his own henchmen when he's climbing up the cliff.
Oh, no, you're just dead.
And how he laughs at Indiana Jones when he like weasels away and gets away. Like little things like that just make you hate that guy.
Well, he's the only villain in the original trilogy that is a villain of power, of like can like go toe to toe with Indy.
Yeah.
All the other villains in Balok.
Yeah, Belloc is like a dark version of Indiana Jones.
He's an intellectual villain.
Yeah.
He's like the Lex Luthor villain, right?
He's an archaeologist.
Yeah, even in the third one, I can't remember.
Donovan was the rich guy.
The rich guy, he was an intellectual villain as well.
Yeah.
And even Elsa was an intellectual villain as well.
And she kind of has her redemption, kind of.
Yeah, I wouldn't say she was working with the Nazis.
That's why I hesitate to say that.
But she wasn't a Nazi. I feel intrinsically weird with the sentence I just said, so I hope you all understand what I meant.
Well, and that's part of what's interesting about her character is like she was about herself, but then there was a good part that's still alive in her, and you know, which it's fun to have 3-dimensional villains. They're not just all like evil, like there's some good to them too. And that's.
I mean, besides Temple of Doom, there was nothing good about him.
Yeah, he was just evil, and he's powerful, and he's intimidating, and I mean he's got magic powers.
Yeah,
I
legitimately have created a D&D session based off Temple of Doom. It is The Mummy Returns and Temple of Doom in one. I think you might have played it.
Did
it was the goblins?
No,
okay.
No, I haven't done it.
Yeah, it's a one-shot campaign.
Well, don't tell me then.
One-shot session that is literally, it's like The Mummy Returns with all the little gremlins in the jungle.
Yeah.
And then you go into a dungeon and it just turns into Temple of Doom.
Those are the best D&D sessions. That's how you DM right there.
Oh, yeah.
So you know the scene where they're in the airplane and they jump out of the airplane on the raft?
Oh, yeah.
In the inflatable raft. So apparently Mythbusters did an episode on that.
That's right.
To see if that was actually survivable. And they found out that it's actually
survivable.
Yeah, it really is.
You're not going to get up and walk from it.
You're going to be banged up.
Yeah, pretty bad.
But I mean, for jumping out of an airplane, that's not bad.
Look, I'll take it.
If you hit the right slope, like at the right angle, and it does kind of slow you down a little bit. Just, isn't that crazy? That's commonly cited as like, okay, that's ridiculous.
Way over the top. Yeah.
But apparently that's, I don't know. So next time you're in an airplane, make sure you pack a raft.
Pack a raft, or an inflatable raft.
The plane's going down, you're blowing in it.
Blow harder!
I ain't gonna die in this plane.
I saw it in a movie. It has to be real. If Indiana Jones can do it, I can do it.
And then you have the mine chase, the mine cart, and I mentioned it earlier. So in all of these movies, you have a chase. In the first one, you have the truck chase, which is iconic. This one, you have the mine cart chase. Minecraft chase.
Yeah.
And then the third one.
All those blocks they were building during that chase was really surprising.
This is when he turned around that like zombie. What was the chase in the third one? It's
the tanks.
The tanks. That's right. And then the fourth one, you had the jungle chase. Okay, we're gonna talk about that. But that minecart chase, that was really cool, man. Like that.
Yeah, a lot of it is miniatures. Like they built a mini set and like just put like dolls in the minecarts.
Yeah,
but it works.
It does.
You can't really tell unless you're like really looking for it.
Yeah.
If you're just enjoying the movie, it's like, I don't know how they did that. That's dope.
You just go with it.
Yeah.
And it's silly. And it's a perfect, and it's a minecart over like lava fields at times too. Like it is the epitome of like, why it's a minecart, right? It's just like if you go to Disney and like ride the minecart, right? There's gonna be falling rocks and lava and all that stuff. It's like that is the epitome of that thing. Like it created 100%. That thing,
And it's just as long as the runway in Fast 8. The 26.7 miles.
This plane just will not take off.
But man, we got to talk about my favorite Indiana Jones movie now.
My favorite as well.
Crystal Skull. Let's go. No, I'm kidding. It is The Last Crusade.
Yes.
100%.
Junior!
Count to 10.
And Greek.
But it's like, man.
And Latin, Jehovah begins with an I. Penitent man shall pass.
Indy, 1 ping, please.
That's Red October.
Oh, sorry.
The dog? You're named after the dog?
Yeah. Oh, Henry Jones
Junior.
Junior.
Oh my gosh, dude. Dude, that's what makes this movie so great. So they like Temple of Doom was a departure from everything.
Yeah.
None of the same characters, but now.
And isn't Temple of Doom a prequel?
It is, actually.
It is a prequel. Yeah. Okay.
It takes place before Raiders. But The Last Crusade returns to the characters, returns to more of the Christian lore, with now seeking out the Holy Grail. But they add that element of Sean Connery as Indiana Jones' dad, and that's what makes the movie
100%.
Right.
I don't know if there would have been a better casting.
No way.
Because it's not even though. Because I love Sean Connery, and that guy does not get the respect he deserves, in my opinion, in his acting chops. Because we all make fun of like the movies he's in, but then you watch,
he's great.
Anyways, he's great.
Yeah.
But like the dynamic between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery in this movie is perfect, and that's where it's like, I don't know if you could have casted somebody better. Like you might have been able to get a better actor per se, but I don't know if they would have had the chemistry.
Yeah.
Because you actually felt like you were watching a father and son.
Yeah, that's exactly it. This movie has so much heart.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so different than the others and so much better. Because it's the father-son dynamic. It's that relationship is right at the center of this movie. And I love every moment of it. The fact that like Indiana Jones does this badass things and he'll like gun down these Nazis and get on a motorcycle and like ramp over things. And like as an audience, you were watching this going like, wow. And then you turn and you see his dad and he's never impressed.
Never impressed.
He's never.
I find if I just sit down and think,
the solution will present itself. He's never impressed with his son. And like Indiana Jones becomes so human because at this point you had built him up almost to a superhero, right? But now you bring him right back down to human status because he's just a son trying to impress his dad and frustrating that he doesn't get the attention he deserves from his dad. And we're feeling the same thing because we're like, hey, your son is Indiana Jones. Why don't you like give him a pat on the back?
Listen, motherfucker. Talk to him. And he even goes, well, you left when you were finally getting interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, that scene when they're in the blimp, he's like, okay, well, if you want to talk,
let's talk.
What do you want to say? And he's like, well, I don't know.
Exactly.
Oh my God. It's just that perfect father-son dynamic where the dad is disapproving. The son's trying to, do everything to earn his dad's respect. And I love too, the fact that like Indiana Jones is that rugged adventurer, but the dad, he's more of the academic nerd type. He's not into the violence or the action. And he's kind of that's unusual to him. Like he's just into more of the study.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah. And it's just funny because every time like Indiana Jones shoots a Nazi or something, like the dad is like he's like, whoa my gosh, he's
like every single time like he goes into Germany to save his dad from the cat and like all this crazy stuff. The dad's like, oh yeah, he's like, I should have gave it to the Marx Brothers.
Yeah. That's another thing. So much humor in this third one.
This movie gets back to it. It is another dark topic. I mean, you're dealing with World War II and Nazism, but like it brings the elements of the father and son in such a fun way.
Yeah.
And it makes everything feel, once again, like the first one, over the top, fun, fanciful, like just a good time movie.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, those the guys with the swastikas, those are the bad guys.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome, cool, done. We're going to kill them. We're going to get the cup of Christ and we're going to get the fuck out.
They're such great villains.
Yeah.
Like Nazis are like such great go-tos because you're just like, you can shoot them all and no one ever feels bad.
No one ever feels bad for killing a Nazi.
Yeah, you're just like, that's why they're
besides
great
Kanye. Kanye might feel a little bad.
Oh, there's always someone.
There's jokes I wish I could put back in my mouth.
No, man, you say it. Say it and own it, baby. Owen thinks that Hitler. No.
Oh God, no.
I'm not even gonna say it.
No.
But it is funny. It is funny because it goes back to that the Nazis searching for occult power and Indiana Jones, who like the Nazis want it for power and they don't know what they're meddling with. Whereas Indiana Jones, he's a true academic and he understands these things. Mm-hmm. And of course, his father. I love that they introduced his father. How the dad is. His whole life's work was the search for the Holy Grail.
And that his diary was like the key to everything.
Yeah, his life's diary.
I wrote it down so he wouldn't have to remember.
I suddenly remembered my Charlemagne. It's just so perfect. Like and then of course you get into the they're discovering things. Anytime you like uncover a hidden tomb or something, when they're in that in Italy, in Venice,
dude,
at that old church.
Have been to Venice.
Oh, okay.
And always whenever a movie is like takes place in Venice, it brings me back to it. And,
nice,
dude. I'm like, I got to see things like that in Venice, like the library and like that old Italian culture. And man, it was so beautiful. And like watch them go through the canals. I was gushing just over that.
Yeah, I love how like that's such a thing that Americans enjoy because like in Europe you have these like buildings that are so ancient, and it's like underneath us is like the tomb of like crusaders and stuff.
and it's like here you go to Boston, it's like we got Bill got 60 years ago.
That pub is 100 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But like Americans like go over there and like discover these ancient things in Europe. And...
This building once sat on the cross line between St. Venicine and Augustine. It was built in the 2nd century AD and once housed the high priest of blah blah. Like it's like, cool. Where is that in America?
But it's like Americans that go over there and they're like, "Hey, have you gone down there to like see if there's any like hidden gold or anything?" And Europeans are like, "No, we respect that stuff." And the Americans are like crashing through the wall. Like,
X marks the spot.
X marks the spot. Did you catch that joke?
Oh, 100%.
I watched that movie 100 times before I caught that
really?
joke. Yes.
First time I was like, I remember watching it. I was like, oh yeah, that's a callback.
Yeah, when he says, and he's teaching the class.
X never marks the spot.
And then of course, like 20 minutes later in the movie, X marks the spot. Oh,
dude! But before we get into the next movie, we got to talk about how cool the final temple was.
I literally was about to say that
because like you get back into that trap element which you got in the first movie, right? The penitent man kneels, and like or like the Jehovah starts with an I.
It's the opening scene of Raiders.
Yes, and you get into it and you see the parallels of both him and his father, right?
Yeah,
where it's like you're seeing both of them talk at different times, but they're saying the same thing, and you see like he really is his father's son because he's working through the problem just like his dad is
academically. But he's the one that could actually do it because he's the adventurer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the father's lifelong research and academic study was what was needed, but it needed to go to Indy because he's the one that could actually like flip his whip and pop through and go and you know what I mean? Like the Father Jones couldn't have done it. You know what I mean? Like
I mean it's crazy too where it's like I don't know if Henry Jones Sr. would have actually made the step of the leap of faith.
Yeah.
Like you see like he's not really a courageous man.
Yeah, he's kind of a matter of fact kind of guy.
Yeah. I mean, he'll stick up when time is needed, but like he isn't like the I'm gonna punch a Nazi in the face, dude.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, would he really have like Indy really was the only one that could have completed that trial?
Well, that's part of the movie too, because you kind of see like it starts with Indiana Jones teaching these things, and then when you see him in his personal life, you see like he doesn't have any personal belief in these things.
He's like, we're not searching for truth, we're searching for facts.
Yeah, and he sees it as an academic, as an archaeologist, whereas the father, and he has like actual Christian faith, so he's like actual belief in these things. And so like the movie puts Indiana Jones through that test, where he isn't, when he's finally in that final temple, you know, when he takes the leap of faith, you know, like even though it was an optical illusion, he like as a character had to get to a point. He's like, do I believe? Do I trust that I will be okay? Like, and by literally taking a step of faith, you know, and he had gotten to that place where it's like it was almost like I trust my dad though.
It was more in the faith of his father than it was in
because he's not like a person of faith. Yeah. Well, until like he gets it, and then it actually gives him
the
eternal life.
Yeah, the knight is like talking. He's like, "You're dressed weird for a knight, or oddly for a knight." And that scene is great. Like, I'll literally like look at people sometimes, and like we'll like be like at dinner.
Oh yes,
and they're like, I don't know what to get, and blah 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 blah, and like they'll like, all right, fine. They make an order, and like the waiter, waitress, or server will like walk away, and I'll look up at the person, and go, "You chose poorly." They're like, "Stop it, no!" And the food comes, they're like, "Yeah, I did."
Oh,
I'm like, "And I chose wisely."
It's just like constantly quoting that, man.
Yeah.
It's so iconic when that knight says it, and he's so serious. When that dude drank from the cup, that Nazi drank from the cup and fucking disintegrated before their eyes, and it cuts to the knight and just serious as can be. He chose poor. It's like, poorly. God damn.
And the pause is, he chose poorly.
What an understatement. He just exploded in front of us.
He literally went to bone and ash in seconds. And the only thing that left is like the wind goes by and you see that the swastika is like left over as a mark of like, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, it's just like the knight says that and you're like, you think? Like, yes.
It's so good.
Oh,
I love The Last Crusade. It's my favorite by far.
It's my favorite Indiana Jones movies. I would give Raiders and The Last Crusade 5 out of 5 stars.
Easily.
I would give Temple of Doom 4 stars.
I'm a little less. It's a little too dark and weird for me. I mean, not to say I like dark movies. I'm a horror fan, but like it still is.
These movies shouldn't be dark.
Yeah, I don't feel like, The Mummy did it well where there was some horror elements to it, but everything about it was still light and fun.
There was no child slavery in The Mummy.
There was also no child slavery in The Mummy.
Like if they start dealing with real topics, like if we were to deal with like racism or something, or like police brutality. It's like, dude, I need to escape from the real world. I don't need to see that in Indiana Jones
Why
movies.
is The Mummy dealing with police brutality in America?
It's like Brendan Fraser's like, hey, Black Lives Matter, right? And I'm like, oh, man, you just reminded me of real life.
But we got to talk about the alien in the room here. And I'm recycling that joke from last week, I know. But
yes, it's fine. We can talk about it. It's fine.
Crystal Skull is the worst Indiana Jones movie ever.
Yeah.
But I think it will probably be better than The Wheel of Time.
It's so hard. It's so hard to I can't get a grasp on it with my brain because the first 3 were like made while I was a child. Like they were already done and I watched all 3 of them. And so it's easy to see, I like them, but Temple of Doom's the least one. And then, but it was like 20 years later when Crystal Skull came out, and I was an adult and everything, and I saw it, and Indiana Jones was already iconic in my life, and like, then you watch this movie, and it's just hard to gauge it, because it's like, it is disappointing, but is it disappointing just because I have such high love for it?
So I had to go into this movie. I haven't watched Crystal Skull in a long time.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to go in to reset it, right? Because I went in when it first came out in theaters with super high expectations.
We all did, yes.
It was like, Indiana Jones back.
Of course.
Let's go.
Yes.
And so watching it, I was like, this is terrible. I remember being very upset at the fact it dealt with aliens and not religious connotations like the first 3.
Like a supernatural thing, yeah.
But then now I'm watching, I'm like, no, that makes sense, because like the whole entire, like, who built the pyramids? Like, this is possibly the religion of like the Aztecs and the Mayans.
Yeah,
like it's a theory, right?
And Roswell and Area 51. And that's cool.
So there's all that. So I get it now. So I took that away. It's like, I actually kind of like that. That's cool. My issue is with this movie is it's just the how is the CGI and the special effects worse in the Crystal Skull than the original trilogy?
I think that's a big part of it. Like, parts of this movie look terrible.
Like, whenever they're on like green screen, it's so overexposed.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, that jungle scene.
It's so bad.
The jungle scene is pretty bad.
It is so bad. Like, when you watch the original trilogies, you can tell like they're in front of a projector and they're just projecting what they're seeing, on the mine carts, or if they're driving a car,
or if it's miniatures. But a lot of it was live. A lot of it was like in camera.
And this, I mean, honestly, the worst scene in all of Indiana Jones history is Shia LaBeouf swinging
with the monkeys.
Yeah,
like
he's faster than cars.
Yeah,
he he is minutes behind the cars.
Yeah.
He not only catches up, but he bypasses the cars. So that means he is like going 3 times faster than the cars are going.
It's just, and it looks so bad. Like that was 2008. So it was like the era of like they've gone too far into computer, like CGI.
Yeah.
Like, cause now I think filmmakers know like, hey, don't take it too far. You know, like you got to do real stuff like in camera if you can, and only use CGI if you have to. Whereas in 2008, they're like, we can do everything in CGI. And it's like, that's not a good thing,
I mean,
man.
honestly, I don't think the late 2000s was a great time for cinema anyways.
Yeah. It wasn't.
I mean, you got first Avatar, Constantine. You do got, like, those are just some things that come to head that I remember liking around the time.
There are some good movies.
Yeah, but like majority, like this is Terminator Salvation era.
Oh man.
Right? Like think about that. So it's like, yeah, and even I love Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
She is terrible in this movie.
It's weird because she's like a great actor.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not, I can't pinpoint it, to be honest. She's a little too
silly.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. Like, she's not Molaram.
Yeah, no.
Molaram is menacing and just cackling.
Yeah.
She's like goofy.
And Shia LaBeouf, while dangling between 2 cars, can almost out-fence her.
Yeah. Well, they established that he took fencing class because he was a little
college.
rich kid. Yeah. Yeah, and she's like a fucking colonel.
She's a Russian spy.
Yeah,
that is like master. Like they're talking about like the dossier of her when Indy's asking questions to the CIA about her. And it's like, oh yeah, master swordsman, fencer, blah blah blah, psychological warfare, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, she's a badass. Also, the whole entire point of his friend Mac.
Mac.
Going, oh, I'm your best friend. No, I'm a spy. No, I'm a double spy.
The worst character.
No, I'm actually
a
triple spy. No, I've just been a regular spy all along.
And it doesn't It doesn't make sense, and it doesn't matter, and no one cares.
We have no context to him at all. What's his name? That's in the first and third one.
The first.
Bad Dates.
Sulla.
Sulla, yeah. He refused to come back for the movie because he's like, it would not do justice to my character. I'm like, that man was smart.
Oh, I hate saying that. I know they tried to get Sean Connery back too, and
he's like, nah.
I think he was in retirement at that time, and he wouldn't come back. And it's here. I will say this though, because I don't want to just like crap on this movie. Because I will say this, like the first half of the movie, there was a lot to like there, and I'm gonna say particularly the scene from like at Indiana Jones's university. And like that the chase through his college university
and the greasers fighting the
greasers
jocks.
fighting the jocks, all of that was
Get
some
those
of the
greasers.
Yes, that was actually some of the best Indiana Jones.
That was I really did like it
when they slid the motorcycle through the library.
And he's having a conversation where he's like, "No, don't read that. Read this instead." I was like, "Oh."
And if you want to be a real archaeologist, you got to get in the field. As he's like, that was some of the best Indiana Jones.
Even the first opening scene when it's him at the CIA base and they're trying to find the crate
at Area 51.
At Area 51.
Yeah.
And it like opens up and it says Roswell on the crate. I was like, dude, this is dope. Like that is good stuff.
That's cool.
First act, great.
Yeah.
Second act, man. And you even get John Hurt, who is Professor Ox.
Which is fantastic.
Fantastic. And you get someone of that acting caliber and you have him act crazy. I'm like, I love him as a character and even the crazy stuff, but I'm like, I wish there was more though of him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, it's just such a mixed bag because the opening scene in Area 51 is great, but then you have the nuke the fridge scene, which was not great.
Not great.
And then you have one of the best Indiana Jones scenes ever with the chase through the university. That was amazing. I actually thought when they went to South America and they were in that graveyard in South America and like, they found Cortez and all that stuff. Like, I thought all that was cool. But then like, I don't know, like that jungle thing, the whole last act, the jungle scene, and then when they get to the hidden pyramids and stuff, it was just so bad, and they didn't do anything. They were just going from place to place. And the Native
Americans just appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And just like coming out of like holes in the ground.
Yeah. And I did like how they brought back Marion, though.
Yes. She's awesome in this too.
And the relationship with Indy and Marion is cute.
Yeah.
And their banter back and forth is wonderful, and the fact that they got married at the end, I like that.
And I actually even would enjoy Shia LaBeouf being the next Indy.
Okay.
I was like, I did enjoy that aspect. I
Yeah.
think if they wanted to continue, it would be cool, but I highly doubt. They're
Okay,
gonna-
so
we got to talk about it. We got a couple minutes left before we need to get into trivia.
I don't hate Shia LaBeouf.
I don't either.
And I know a lot of people don't like him. And
Okay, so he went through a weird phase. Like we got Even Stevens, which I think is a very funny comedy.
Yeah.
That he was great in, and then he went through like this weird period of doing some bad movies.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't good in Constantine, and I know I brought that up, but like
he was just that kid that talked really fast and said a lot. Yeah.
But then in the recent years, you've been getting him in Fury.
Yeah. He did that.
Great in Fury.
I liked him in Indiana Jones, too.
Indiana Jones, Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yes.
One of the most uplifting.
Is that the one about his dad, where he plays his dad?
No, Peanut Butter Falcon is the one where he's on the run from some loan sharks.
Yeah.
He, like, while in Florida, sees these kids picking on an autistic kid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then, like, they just go on, like, a Huckleberry Finn journey together.
That's right. I have that on my list to watch.
It is
I'm thinking of
amazing.
the Honey Boy.
Honey, yeah, which is the one where he plays his father.
He plays his father. Well, so apparently in this movie, like in Crystal Skull, so he started trash talking the movie, Steven Spielberg, and Harrison Ford. And he was just doing this publicly, like just shit talking them. And so this was part of where like he kind of fell out, like everyone.
I mean,
because they kicked him out of Transformers too.
Yeah.
And like where he was going crazy, and then he was like stealing stuff from other artists and trying to, like, it was weird stuff.
Yeah.
And then like having a bag over his head when he was in public. He was almost going Kanye.
There was this whole Twitter controversy where he live streamed a flag on his Twitter account.
Yeah.
And people watched it and figured out where the flag was based off the flight patterns.
What?
Not kidding you.
What?
Yeah, it was like all this weird stuff.
See, I just think like anytime you're a child celebrity, there's like a 60% chance you're going to go crazy.
Yeah, you have to work at the Temple of Doom.
Yeah. That's why Short Round got the hell out of there.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I don't like where Hollywood's going.
But I don't know. I just like his character Mutt in Indiana Jones, which is funny because he was Mutt because he's named after a dog also.
Mm-hmm.
I liked his character, and I thought it was like him, and he was the it kid where they kept putting him in every movie. So I think we were just really sick of him at the time. Yeah. But looking back on it now, I was like, no, I had fun with it.
I mean, I love actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Let's go. But we got to talk about the new one. You want to talk about the new one?
Yes.
3 minutes.
Okay. It's coming up this summer. It's called The Dial of Destiny.
Wheel Time.
The Wheel Time.
Wheel Time.
Yeah. It's coming up this summer. Have you heard anything about it?
Yeah. My brother has told me some stuff about it. I don't know how true any of it is.
Like rumors
about
leaks and stuff.
It's yeah. I don't know how true a lot of this is, and I really hope what I've heard isn't true.
Where it travels through time.
So yeah, here, if you don't want to hear about any leaks, fast forward the podcast about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait till you hear the trivia music. All right. So there's a rumor of a leak that he has a daughter now.
Okay.
And those two are going back through time.
Yeah.
But Indiana Jones dies while time traveling.
No.
So she has to go back through time and relive and redo everything that Indiana Jones did.
She has to do his greatest hits.
Yes.
Oh, geez.
And we've talked a lot about some of the, I don't like using the word wokeness, but just that
is kind of a cultural thing people are talking about now.
Yeah, where it's like everything is trying to replace good movies that were made and trying to make them modern, but losing everything that was great about them.
Yeah. So I would understand being sensitive about that.
Yeah. And so it's like that. It's like, are they trying just to do that again?
Yeah.
Rather than trying to make a good movie.
Well, they do have Phoebe Waller-Bridges.
Yes.
And I love her. She's starting a show called Fleabag, and she is absolutely amazing. So like her as an actor, like I think that is amazing, and I would love to see anything she's in. So if she's kind of like taking over the mantle of Indiana Jones, I'm open to that. I mean, Harrison Ford is 80 years old, so like he can't keep doing this.
I am okay with them replacing Like, hey, like we're gonna hand it off,
but not going through time and redoing his stuff
and erasing everything.
That's weird, man.
Yeah,
don't do that.
That's where I'm weird about. Like, you know, like if it was Shia LaBeouf, there's a scene at the end with the hat rolling by and he picks it up and almost puts it on. Like if they want to do something like
Indy
that,
takes it, yanks it out of his hand.
Not yet, kid.
And we're like, whoo,
yeah. But with Phoebe, if it's gonna be her, I'm okay. If he dies and she just becomes the next Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, I love the Tomb Raider, the Lara Croft stuff.
Yeah,
I play the video games. Like, I'm for that. But it's like the intent and everything behind it. It's like, oh, we're just erasing another male.
Yeah, you
figurehead.
Don't you don't have to do that.
No.
Yeah. So it is interesting too that there's no Mutt in this. Like obviously Spielberg won't work with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
So he didn't bring him back. So it's like, okay, I wonder what they're going to say about Marion and Mutt. I'm interested in that. I have heard that. So the originals take place in the 30s, Crystal Skull's in the 50s. This one takes place in 1969 because part of the chase is during a ticker tape parade for the Apollo 11 moon landing. So it will involve something with the moon landing, something like that. I don't know. Did you just uncover something? You're making a face. Oh no. Are you reading spoilers right now?
No, I legitimately have never Googled Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
So I didn't know who the cast of this movie is.
Yeah.
Or was.
Yeah.
Is.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh.
Mads Mikkelsen
is in it, which is one of my favorite actors.
And he's a Nazi. They brought back the Nazis.
Yes. Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
And Boyd Holbrook.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I know, right? Like, it looks good. Did you see the trailer?
No.
So I watched the trailer. It came out a few weeks ago.
Okay.
It looks good. Like
Solid's coming back for it too, it looks like.
It looks.
Karen Allen.
Wait, Karen Allen's
coming? Yeah. She's
Marion?
Marion's in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
But the trailer looks actually good. And here's the thing, because I'm really scared because it's got me excited. And I don't want my heart hurt again, man. It's like a House of Dragons situation again.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's going to take a lot for me to open up my heart again,
Yeah,
man.
I don't think it's...
I don't want to get Crystal Skulled.
And they're saying that this is going to be a lot more sci-fi based as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
What the hell is the Dial of Destiny? Here's what I do know.
Wheel of Time.
We have it scheduled this summer to talk. We're going to do an episode on it.
Well, yeah,
on the new movie.
Yeah,
we can change that, but right now it's scheduled. So I hope it's good, and I hope people like it, and I hope we do an episode where we just talk about it and we geek out.
All right, one last question, and I already know the answer. I have a feeling. If you could only watch one Indiana Jones movie for the rest of your life, which Indiana Jones movie would it be?
The Last Crusade.
Well, 100%. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Absolutely.
It is 100% The Last Crusade.
Yes.
It's trivia time.
Oh yeah, baby.
Am I allowed to say it? Can I say it this time?
You know, you say the thing you say every episode, damn it.
Well, today's a great day at the Helios Network because I reclaimed my championhood status as the champion of trivia.
Wait, the overall? Did you take the lead?
We are tied in points.
I was about to say, I think we're tied.
But you have to spin the wheel of shit.
We're doing it by color this time, too.
All right, go for it.
All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Check out our
blue
Twitter and Instagram to see what happens. All right, the blue means...
Is it the slap bet?
No, it's the last text message.
Oh, okay. So in this one, what we're doing is Brando has to read out the last text message he sent to somebody. And it can't be the one that you sent to me saying that you're going to be late.
It's to Sarah saying, I told you I was going to be late. That's the last text message. Wow, I have such boring ass text messages.
If that ever lands on me, it will be a lot spicier.
Okay, but you didn't read this text message that Sarah texted you. She's like, I don't know if Brandon told you, but Nosferatu. We just saw him in the dumpster at Kroger.
Yeah, that's why you guys were high and it didn't make sense to me. So I'm like, I'm just going to let them be high and not talk to them.
Here's the reality. The last text message one is really for you.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're going to have something sexy or whatever. Like, mine are boring. I'm like, hey, can you pick carrots up from the grocery store?
Let's see here.
You're going to read yours?
Yeah. Here, I'll give you mine. The last one I sent was, funny thing about my back is, it's on my cock. It's a quote from Superbad.
Was someone offering you a back massage?
No, it's a lady that I'm flirting with.
Oh, there you go.
And we were quoting Superbad lines back to one another.
All right. So we have trivia, and actually, I have more trivia questions for you this time.
Yes, you do.
Indiana Jones trivia,
which is crazy. So go ahead and give me your first question.
Okay. Number 1, name the gross meals in Temple of Doom, and I'll give you a point for each one.
Chilled monkey brains.
All right, that's one.
Eyeball soup.
Yes, that's one.
Pregnant snake. I don't know what to. I don't know what it was really.
Do you remember
called.
what he called it?
Oh man. No, I don't.
Snake surprise.
Oh, snake surprise.
And he said it, and he was like on the verge of giggling when he said it. Oh, it's great.
That's the only two I can remember.
And then you had the beetles, the beetle guts on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
When he's like sucking them out.
Oh, like an oyster.
2 points for you. That's great.
Sweet. I'll take it. We all know Indiana Jones has a fear of snakes, but Henry Jones Sr. has a fear of what animal?
I believe it is rats.
Yes, it is.
Because when they're underneath the church in Venice, there's the rats everywhere, and he says Dad wouldn't have made it past this. He hates rats. There we go. Yeah. Nice. I'm glad I knew that. All right. Oh yeah, it's my turn. I just turned my screen off. All right, here we go. Okay. In Temple of Doom, what's the name of the song Willie sings at the beginning of the movie? And I love because they're in China, and
everything is all right. Everything's gonna be okay.
I'm gonna give you one more try.
Everything is all right. That was close.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it kind of is. Yeah.
I don't know.
Anything goes.
Oh, anything goes. God damn it. That's right. Can I give myself a point just for you singing that?
Come on. I should get 2 points for singing the song.
What university did Indiana Jones graduate from?
Oh.
And it is mentioned in Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
In Last Crusade.
Is it in Chicago?
It is the University of Chicago.
Oh my gosh, I got that right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that was a guess.
In Crystal Skull, he goes, he's like, we studied together at the University of Chicago.
Oh man, that was a guess.
Yeah.
That was just implanted in my brain from watching the movie so much. All right. Let's see here. All right. Another Temple Doom question. All right. Because I'm making them hard for you. I know it was your least favorite. In Temple of Doom, which Hindu god did the cultists worship? Ah, yes.
Yeah, that one I know.
Kalima.
All right. You've already said it, but I'm going to ask the question anyways because you need points. What language did Indy have to count to in 10 before speaking to his father?
In Greek.
Yep.
Yeah.
In Greek.
I actually studied Greek. And
I know why.
I don't remember any of it.
I also studied Greek.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I don't remember any of it.
I know. That's just...
I just studied Greek and Hebrew.
Okay. So here's a question I think I asked you when we talked about Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I swear to God, if you give me a Bible trivia question.
Like last week?
Yeah. I will make you choose poorly. All right.
No. Last time we talked about Raiders. Back in season 2.
Stetson.
Which actor who played a famous supervillain also played an Indiana Jones villain?
God damn it. You did ask me this last time. I got it wrong.
Yeah, you did.
And I can't remember the answer now.
Okay,
wait. Which famous villain?
Supervillain. He played a supervillain.
In the Indiana Jones.
No, he was a supervillain in a superhero movie. And then he also played a villain.
Doc Ock.
Yes.
Alfred Molina. Thank you. Okay.
Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2.
My God.
Nice.
Because he's only in the movie for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, the beginning of Raiders. He's the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
Throw me the idol. I throw you the whip.
Yes. All right. What was the name of the ship that Indy goes on to steal the cross of Coronado back? So Last Crusade. We have that whole scene we didn't talk about as young Indy, which is a great scene. Then it cuts back. It cuts to in the future.
Yeah.
And he's on a ship.
And it's like raining and stuff. And
what's the name of that ship?
Is it the SS Coronado?
It is the SS Coronado. Oh my gosh.
was a hard question.
That's a good. I can't believe you got that one.
What are you doing asking me real questions?
All right,
here we go. You should know this one. Which Lord of the Rings actor also appeared in Indiana Jones movies?
Yeah.
2 of them. Which Lord of the Rings actors,
there's
plural,
2?
also appeared in Indiana Jones movies?
There's 2.
Yeah, there's 2. There might be more that I don't know, but there's 2.
Well, Sala.
Sala, who is John Rhys Davies, who played Sala, and Gimli, the dwarf in Lord of the Rings.
And there's another one?
Yes. This one's a little bit more obscure.
Okay, can I get the Indiana Jones movie they were in as a hint?
Crystal Skull.
It's in Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Oh, Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave that one to you.
I was thinking it was her.
Yeah.
Because she's
she's Galadriel.
Galadriel, yeah.
In Lord of the Rings, and she's of course the psychic Soviet in the.
Is that 1 point or 2 points?
I don't know.
It's 1 point. I'll take 1 point. All right. Look, do you remember, like, if you go back to, like, our first couple episodes, even our first, like, couple dozen episodes, I was super hard on trivia, and now I'm like, I don't care.
Who gives a shit?
I was so competitive, and now I'm like, I'm going to win anyways. I don't need to be competitive.
Oh!
All right. Potentially my last question. What was the name of the last train car in The Last Crusade?
Oh, shit. It has a name?
It has a name that... He goes, oh, magic.
I know
right?
I was about to say, I know it's the magic train car.
But on the door, there is a name.
Is it like the Hall of Mirrors? No, it's like
It's dumb.
It's like the Hall of Houdini or the...
It's dumb.
Oh.
You got to think the time, right? Like snake oil, right? Like it's a name.
Yeah. Oh, like a Houdini thing? I don't know.
Dr. Fantasy's Magic Caboose.
What the hell? You would think if I knew the name of that boat that I would know the name of the fucking train car. All right, well, I got more. So I got more actor stuff because I thought there's a bunch of really interesting actor stuff. And I'll be surprised if you get this one. Okay. Right. So I know this one's hard. All right, here we go. Which Ghostbusters actor appears in an Indiana Jones movie? Which actor from Ghostbusters?
What?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I know, right? Appears Ghostbusters actor in an Indiana Jones movie.
I'm up on points, so I can't ask for a hint. I mean, I can, but I'm just not going to.
Yeah. If you guess it right, I'll be so mad.
I don't know who. I really don't know. I'm racking my brain.
Okay, Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd is in Temple of Doom in the beginning when Indiana Jones is with Short Round and they escape. They're in China and they escape from Lao She and they get on the airplane. He is the British guy who meets them, who arranged the flight for them. He meets them at the airport. He's got a cameo, and they get on the plane, and he says, "Nice try, Lao She," and he shams the door, and it says Lao She on it.
Yeah,
that was Dan Aykroyd, who was the one who met them there. He has got a little cameo. You're checking. You're looking it up. You don't believe me?
I don't believe
that
you.
That is Dan motherfucking Aykroyd, man. I'm telling you, he's in Temple of Doom.
Oh my gosh.
He's British. He's a British guy. I told you, man.
He should have been in Crystal Skull. All right.
Do you have another one?
I do, but I want to save it just in case we need a tiebreaker.
I have one last one.
Okay, so I got that one wrong.
Uh-huh. So I'll take the point.
You get a point for that.
I'll take it. Yeah. Sure. Do you want me to ask my last one?
Yes, go for it.
All right, last one. All right.
Because we are tied. 5-5.
This is a stupid one. Which movie does Indiana Jones never fire his gun? Which one of them does he never fire his gun?
Never fires his gun.
Yep. I know, right?
Like his pistol.
Yeah.
Or just a gun in general.
Well, his gun.
His gun. So the revolver.
Yeah, the one that he carries. Yeah.
Crystal Skull?
It is Crystal Skull. The whole movie, can you believe? You remember Raiders when he shot a dude in the fucking forehead in that bar?
Yeah.
And then you get to Crystal Skull, he never even shoots the gun. It's just like how mild did these movies get?
All right, I got a question for you.
All right.
Of which Indiana Jones movies has the highest body count?
Oh, okay.
So viewers, listeners, body count means how many people died.
Well, if we're counting Crystal Skull because they killed all those like South American,
Yeah, no, we're not gonna
like Aztec dudes or whatever. Well, shoot, man, it's got to be Raiders because they killed all those Nazis. He just killed so many people. He killed all the dudes in the bar at Marion's bar. He killed like that one Nazi got like fucking chopped up in the airplane propellers.
He had to kill that guy twice. He was in the bar fight scene too.
Yeah.
It is not Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, are you gonna let me guess?
It's Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom?
Mm-hmm.
That was gonna be our next guess.
Yeah, so I think it's Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, Raiders.
Last Crusade has more?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess they do. And that tank scene.
The tank scene, the motorcycle chase scene.
Yeah. They kill a lot of fucking Nazis.
Yeah,
in those
they
movies.
do. Okay, and then I didn't take a point for that, but I just more some trivia, fun trivia. I got one last one. Here we go.
Yeah.
Why isn't Indiana Jones famous in his mythos?
Why isn't he famous? Like in world?
In the world of Indiana Jones, in the cinematic universe of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Why isn't he famous?
Oh, what?
Think about it.
Well, I don't think. Okay, well, in Raiders, they just take the Ark and put it in a warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
In the second movie, he just returns the stones to these like random villagers.
And in the third movie,
he doesn't recover the Holy Grail.
And in the fourth.
And in the fourth one, he also doesn't recover the Crystal Skull. He doesn't actually recover.
He doesn't ever actually recover anything. He's one of the world's greatest archaeologists. And he never brings anything back.
Hey, he got that cross of Cortez. He got that, or Coronado.
Coronado, yeah. I'll give you a point for that one. So we tied. Oh, we can't tie.
Very generous.
We can't tie, though. Who spins the wheel next week?
I was going to say, let's see if I can come up with anything off the top of the dome there.
We're at like an hour 15, so we should probably.
It's an Indiana Jones episode. It's fine.
Yeah,
we had a good time.
Yeah, we had a great time.
You know what? Let's both spin next week.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
All right.
Two spinners, double spinners.
Yeah, we're both gonna slap each other.
Well, Owen, this has been a wonderful time, just me and you, my dude.
I love a little good adventure.
Yes, and hey, just a heads up to all you guys listening, we are proud members of the Helios Network, a collection of great podcasts made by regular people.
Yes, if you want to check out some of our other great podcasts, go to www.theheliosnetwork.com and you can check out Master and Debaters.
Yes.
Actually, Wasted Truth is back.
Check out Wasted Truth.
Wasted Truth.
Well, we got some news on that.
PPP.
We're doing, we just did a finale episode.
Mm-hmm. Season 1 finale.
Season 1 finale. And Season 2 is coming back, rebooted and revamped. All kinds of new stuff we're coming at you with, which we're not going to give you the details on it yet, but we just want to get you hype about it. Yeah. I'm super excited about it.
I'm very, very excited about this
I literally walked into the studio today to record this, and you had your headphones on listening to Wasted Truth's finale.
Scared the shit out of me.
But you were cracking your ass off, and I walked in here, and you're like, ah! So it's a funny episode, apparently. Owen loves it.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out. Oh, I love you all. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Banter and Such.
Yes, next week we're going to be continuing our adventure series.
Yeah.
But like any good adventure, there needs to be a little mystery.
Ooh, what's going to be the next one?
I'm going to tell you, it's a movie that we have never talked about.
All right.
A movie series we've never talked about.
All right, well, I'm Brando.
And I'm Owen.
And until next time, may your week be filled with BS.